Welcome back. We're going to share some time with frankincense now. So if you have your oil, please take it and breathe it in. Beautiful aroma, very grounding quality to it as you breathe it in. There's almost there's a woodiness to it. There's a smokiness to it, but really it covers so many different fragrance profiles that it's hard to pin it down to just one. And that's really one of the gifts of frankincense is the fact that it covers so many different chemical compounds, so many different naturally occurring chemical compounds within there, that it can offer us support in many, many different areas of our life. It's an ancient oil. It's one that has been used for thousands of years. In first century Rome, they consumed 2,800 tons of frankincense annually. And also, incidentally, they consumed 550 tons of myrrh annually. You'll often see these two oils partnered together, but it really has a very, very long cultural history of being used and written about as something that can instill courage, can bring focus, can calm and lift the spirit. So we know it was gifted to Jesus, as was myrrh. And really this just helps us to understand the spiritual reverence that there was around, and still is actually, but that there was historically around frankincense. It was thought to represent a connection to the heavens, a connection to the higher realms, often gifted in sacred circles, very, very highly prized, valued essential oil, and often partnered, as I said, with myrrh, and said to bring about strength and courage in that situation when it's partnered with myrrh. So I'd like to look at the energetics of the oils a little bit, and one of the ways that I like to do that is through the plant, how the plant exists in nature. So the boswellia tree, the way that it grows, the places that it grows is Somalia and Oman. That's where we source our frankincense from. And it grows out of rocks. You can see images of it, and it's almost like, I've seen images of it where it's almost like falling off a cliff face, but really growing in the most hard circumstances. Very, very adaptable plant, growing in very dry, arid, kind of almost barren conditions. So in this sense, we can understand that it really is an oil to turn to for us in times of hardship, and can help us really with that adaptability, with that sense of being able to thrive even in difficult times, even in difficult circumstances. Now the resin is where we get the oil from. So this is what the resin looks like. It's very golden. I don't know if you can see. Golden in colour. And the resin comes when you, let's bring it out to the camera maybe so you can see a little more. See if I can get in focus. The resin comes from cuts in the tree. So the tree is cut and then the resin seeps out, and it's almost, it's kind of golden oozy resin, and it's often called tears, the tears of the resin. So when we look at this energetically, it could be seen as an understanding of the value of what can happen when we're vulnerable, when something wounds us, how being able to share that hardship or that difficulty or that wound can actually be a gift to other people. And frankincense is known as the father oil, or the king of oils sometimes, but it's very much associated with a male energy. Myrrh is the mother oil, frankincense is the father oil. So again, I think it's interesting to look at it through this lens of healing the connection, the relationship that we may have had to father or father energy or patriarchy. Because father energy, or really maybe I should say patriarchal energy, the destructive aspect of that is very, very much being looked at this time, and we are looking to maybe move away from that, maybe move away into a more balanced energy where the negative sides of the patriarchy, the aggression, the domineering side of the patriarchy is being looked as something that we want to move away from. And frankincense really can be a little bit of an ally as in this realm, because it's inviting us to really look at our relationship with not just our own father, but with the father energy, the patriarchal energy as a greater whole. So looking and inviting us to heal our relationship with the divine masculine. The other thing is that for the tree to thrive, so this is the third part around the energetics of the plant, for the tree to thrive, it has to rest at times. So for that resin to be extracted and for it to be of a high quality for us to use, the tree has to be rested, which reminds us so profoundly of the time that we're in right now in the winter season, this importance of rest and regeneration. So present day ways that we can use frankincense, the qualities that it has is cellular regenerative and anti-inflammatory. So it can be used for skincare, very, very nice for skincare, for any kind of aging skin that you might like to use it in your moisturizer or something like that. It's been used historically in many, many beauty products. It's also an immune support and a respiratory support and a musculoskeletal support. So thinking of it for many, many different ways and applications, ways that we can use this oil beyond the energetics of it, also for the physical side of it. The other thing to understand about frankincense, so also being known as the father oil, it also has a connection to truth, to our understanding of truth. And in this way, it's a beautiful oil to work with in meditation or in quiet times, just to help you access maybe the darker, deeper aspects of yourself that you're not always so willing or just don't always have the space to look at. It gives us the opportunity to go deeper. It's a very reflective oil. As I'm kind of breathing it in, and I'm kind of actually finding it hard to string words together. I think it's partly because of the frankincense, because it's really inviting you to just go into kind of a very meditative space. And it invites us to really look at not just the light of us, not just the bright, shining parts of us that we like, but also maybe at the darker, more shadowy parts of ourselves that we don't necessarily always want to look at. And it's important to have a balance of both of these, because it is, again, from the darker depths of ourselves, the bits that we don't necessarily want to really look at. This is where the gifts are. This is where we can really start to mine the depths of truth about ourselves, and we can bring them to the surface very, very sweetly and very gently and use them as a healing. So I hope you enjoy your frankincense. A mantra for you to work with as you're using it, if you wish to, is the divine masculinity one. So my gift to you is divine masculinity. Wishing you much, much love, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.